Appreciate everyone joining us today for our Pixellot Coaching Analytics webinar. My name is Mike. I'm the Director of Customer Success here at Pixellot, specializing in working on our direct-to-consumer and our coaching platform. Pixellot is an award-winning end-to-end video solution that starts with our AI automated devices that we use to capture footage for our events, all the way through our coaching analytics platform, VidSwap. And that's what we're going to talk about today here, our VidSwap coaching analytics platform. So if you're looking for an affordable, automated, user-friendly platform, you came to the right spot today. Okay, so today's presentation is going to take about 30 minutes. We're going to do a nice, quick, short webinar here. I'm going to throw a whole lot of information at you over the next 30 minutes. We're looking forward to presenting our product, answering any questions at the end that you might have about the product, and hopefully setting you up for a good experience and a good first impression using our VidSwap platform. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and we will get this party started. Our success team, we deal with all the onboarding, all the training, basically hand-holding our end users, our coaches through the process so that you're familiar and set up for a successful season with using our products and our services here. We're all former coaches, former athletes in our respective sports. So we got a lot of great experience on our team that, again, our job is to make sure that you are set up for a successful season when you're utilizing our products. We're going to jump right into a VidSwap account. Okay, so what I'm showing you right now is the main dashboard for a team account within our VidSwap platform. So when you log in as a coach or as a player, this is what you're going to see. A lot of these accounts look very similar. The key distinguishing features are the names in the top left-hand corner of the particular team that we're in. We're in a demo account for men's basketball. But the main journey where you start your experience with VidSwap is in these folders down here there on the dashboard. At any given time, you'll have about 8 to 10 folders on your dashboard, depending on what type of subscription you have here within VidSwap. And this is where your main experience is going to begin within our platform. Now, I'm going to briefly describe what each and every one of these folders are, just to give you kind of the lay of the land of where things are going to be located within the VidSwap account and the terminology we use within our system here. So the first folder that you see is our videos folder. This is where the magic happens, right? It's where all your content, all your game films, all your practice films are going to be uploaded within our account here. Okay, now if you're using one of our Pixellot filming devices, either our fixed installed cameras, a show camera, or maybe some of our portable units, the Pixellot Air, the Pixellot Action, each and every one of those cameras that you have are synced directly to the VidSwap accounts that we create for you. As you press record on those cameras and your game is automatically recorded with no use of a camera operator, all automatically AI produced. Once that camera is done recording that event, it's also going to automatically upload into your VidSwap account for you. So no need to download or upload videos or transfer videos in any way, shape, or form. It's automatically done for you within our end-to-end solution here. So great benefit if you're utilizing one of our devices and then in turn using our coaching analytics platform here at VidSwap. Now, we also accept video from other sources as well. So if you're filming from an HD camera or an iPad or any other video capture device, you can also manually upload that video into your VidSwap account if you'd like to as well. And all those videos are going to be located right here within your videos folder. Okay. We've got 2 great folders and tools that a lot of you coaches and you end users are probably going to want to use. And those are our highlights and our reviews. Okay. I'm going to show you an example of how to create both of those here in a minute. But for the sake of argument right now, think of a highlight as selecting different play clips that occurred during the course of the game, creating a playlist so that it's easily viewable and manageable, that you can share it with your athletes or with any guests, or distribute those clips out to anybody that you so choose. Okay, you can create those highlights and easily distribute them. A review, on the other hand, think of it as like an assignment-based highlight, okay? We can go through the same process of pulling and creating playlists, but you can actually pick and choose the players within your account that you want to have a virtual film review session with, more of a coaching assignment-based platform with our reviews, okay? So if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now, don't worry, it will here in a minute. I'm going to show you an example of how to create both of those within our platform, okay? We have our stats folder. Self-explanatory, right? This is where all of our stats are going to be housed within our platform. So we have different breakdown packages that we have here an offer at VidSwap. We also have the ability for our users to self-code and self-stat their games as well. But once that's done, all the stats are going to be located right here in this folder. You can do team stats for both of the teams that compete in each and every game that are uploaded into the platform. We also do individual athlete stats as well. So we're in a basketball account right now. So we have points, rebounds, assists, steals, shooting percentages, different shot charts and heat maps, a lot of great analytical information. But again, we do all different types of sports. So even though we're in a basketball account today, just know that we have soccer, same features for soccer, same features for American football, same features for baseball, softball, volleyball, field hockey, lacrosse, you name it. We do just about every one of the major team sports that are out there in the sports industry. So again, just know we're in a basketball account today, that this is offered cross-platform, sports specific for those sports that you might be interested in utilizing our services for. Rosters folder. This is the #1 most important folder that we have as you become a VidSwap customer, where you're going to start your journey on. This is where you go to give those that need access to the account. So any of your coaches, any of your student athletes or your athletes, basically anybody that needs access to this platform, you can manage those users within the rosters folder. Playbooks. We have a very simple software playbook where you can create and diagram your different play types within our platform. Think of it as like using a Microsoft PowerPoint, if you ever created one of those before, where you can create the playing surface as the background on your document, create X's and O's, different arrows and lines to diagram your plays. You know, from football to soccer to basketball to volleyball, you name it. It's basically a virtual whiteboard. So gone are the days where you're limited to drawing those plays up on the sideline with the whiteboard. You can actually draw them up within our software playbook that we have. Documents folder. Okay. This folder, think of it as the junk drawer that everybody has in their kitchen, where it's just a hodgepodge of everything, right? We've got, if you want to upload PDF documents, Word documents, Excel files, you name it, game day travel schedules, anything that you'd like to share with your team, any files, feel free to upload and use those within our documents folder. VidSwap Replay. I'll very briefly touch on VidSwap Replay. It's a service that we provide here where we can actually, the camera devices that you're using to record your events on game day, we actually have equipment where you can create point-to-point connections between those camera angles, so either one angle or multiple angles, so that we can create a network so that coaches on the sideline via the use of an iPad can have instantaneous access via that iPad of that game film as it's being recorded. Very valuable tool, making game adjustments as a coach, either during the game or at halftime. Very, very cool equipment and product that we have here. So for the sake of today, I'm just going to mention that it is offered. We won't get into too much details about it though. Okay. Team schedule. This is obviously a self-explanatory folder that we have here where we can upload our schedule. If you're actually a part of the NFHS network and using our Pixellot camera systems at your venue, your team schedule is actually automatically uploaded for you because we sync directly with the NFHS network. So nothing that you would have to do as far as uploading your schedule. But if you're outside of that partner relationship that we have with the NFHS, you're more than welcome to upload your schedule of your upcoming games to make sure all your players and coaches are on track with the upcoming slate. Okay. And then the final folder that we have here is our settings folder. Okay. Think of this as like the customization home for your account. So with the breakdown package that we do, we talked about before, and we're going to take a look at them here in just a minute. We're going to be breaking down 99.9% of the stats, the events, the filters, the analytics that you will be looking for as a coach. But there might be different certain custom tags or custom stat sheets that your coaches are familiar and want to create. VidSwap gives you the ability to be flexible to create those customized options, to do an additional coding, self-tagging on top of the basic breakdowns that we do for you so that you can customize your experience as a coach while utilizing our platform. Okay. So those are the 10 or so folders that are going to be on your dashboard at a given time. Hopefully that gives you a good lay of the land and knowledge of kind of where things are going to be located. The first folder that I'm going to take a moment to take a deep dive into, though, is our rosters folder. Again, we're not going to spend too much time on it because I want to spend most of our time talking about the breakdowns and all the fun stuff that we do here. But I think it's worth mentioning at least to show you how easy and user-friendly it is to actually add those accounts, those specific accounts that need access to your account. So we're going to jump right into our rosters folder here. All right. And you'll see when we're inside of our rosters folder, we have a couple different options of adding accounts that are located up here on the top. Okay. First one that you're going to see is our athletes. you'll see I'm in a demo account. I've got 5 or so athletes that are added to this account. And I say athletes with air quotes because these are actually coworkers. So we've got a couple of our players that we've added to our roster. A very simple process if we wanted to add another player. All you need to do is go over here to this plus box over here on the right-hand side where it says add athlete. You click that, and a little wizard's going to pop up asking you for some information about the athlete, the student athlete that might be on your team. First name, last name, email address. Jersey numbers are very, very important within our system because this is what we use to identify those players when we're doing individual athlete stats. So always very important that we have accurate jersey numbers for your players. Seasons that they're active, you can add them to multiple seasons, upcoming seasons, as you continue to come back year after year as a VidSwap customer. The positions that they play on the field or on the court. Obviously, we're in a basketball account, so we've got guards, forwards, and centers. If we were in a soccer account, we'd have goalkeepers, defense, midfield, forwards. If we were in a football account, quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, you name it. So sports specific when you're in those different team accounts based on the positions that are on the field. You can select multiple positions. So maybe we have a guard and a forward, on the basketball court, or maybe we have a forward and a center. Don't have to just be one position. You can select them to play multiple positions within our account. The final thing we have is our permissions. Now, athletes have read-only access within the VidSwap platform. What that means is that they can view all the information that you provide, but they can't edit anything. So no editing, no deleting, either intentionally or accidentally. As we know, some younger athletes might explore a little bit where they shouldn't. So you don't have to worry about them harming your account in any way, shape, or form as athletes. With that said, you can also control which folders they see on their dashboard when they log into their account, simply by checking the permissions for these folders. So each of the folders that I select, that means this athlete, when they sign in, they will have permission and have access to it. If I unselect a folder, let's just say stats, maybe we don't want our players arguing over who scored more points or has more rebounds. Each folder that we unselect, when that athlete logs in, they will not have access to those folders. Okay. So a lot of great customizable options when you're creating access for your athletes and for your coaches. You hit submit and close. It's going to spawn an automatic email from VidSwap to this user's email address, inviting them to create a username and a password. Once the athlete creates a username and password, they can log in. They will have access to the account. Okay. Very quick and easy way to manage your users from an athlete standpoint. Also here in the very near future, we got a new feature that's going to be released where you can actually mass upload from a CSV or from an Excel file, one-stop shop, upload all your athletes at one time. But either way, either from the Excel file or one by one for your athletes, very, very quick and easy, simple process to use. Okay. We'll jump into our coaches. You can also add coaches to our account. Very, very easy process to add coaches. Obviously, we have a couple here that are added. If we want to add another one, we just click the plus box again over on the right-hand side of the screen to add a coach. 3 pieces of information is all you need for a coach. Very simple. First name, last name, and email address. That's it. Once you submit this information, that same automatic email is going to be distributed to this coach's email address, inviting them to create a username and a password. And once they do that, they will have access to the account. Now, coaches have reading and editing ability within the account, which means they can assist with everything. They can help with film breakdowns. They can help if you're manually recording and uploading your game film. They can upload your game film for you. They can add athletes to your roster and other coaches to your roster. So they have a lot of the same privileges that the admins on our account have and can assist you. And if you're an athletic director, this is great because you can delegate those responsibilities for each of the teams at your school so that your head coach is basically the admin of that team and handles everything from end to end for you. Okay. And the final thing we have is our guest accounts. Okay. Guest account. Think of this as anybody outside your team, outside your school, outside your organization, your club that you want to have access to your videos. An example of this may be a director of officiating. Maybe you have a director of officiating that's responsible within your league or your conference for scheduling and grading the officials, and you want to give him or she the opportunity to see all the horrible calls that they're calling against you guys here recently. This would be a great practicum to use to give that director of officiating access to your videos. Or maybe you have different athletes on your roster that are being recruited to play at upper levels, maybe different club teams, maybe at the college level. This would be a great way to give those recruiters and those scouts at those universities access to your account so that they can see your videos and do some additional recruiting on your athletes. Now, guest accounts are read-only access. They can only view your information. There's no editing ability, so very similar to athletes. And the only folders that they're able to see are your videos and your stats, so they don't have complete access to your site. Okay. So those are the three main different types of accounts that you're probably going to work with here within VidSwap. Again, our athletes, our coaches, and our guest accounts. Very, very easy to use, very easy to create and user manage within our system. Okay. So enough of this boring administrative stuff, right? Let's actually get into the fun stuff. Let's actually take a look at some video and show you, the key features of the system here. So we're going to jump right back into our dashboard here, and we're going to jump into our videos folder. Okay. So when we jump into our videos folder, you're going to see we've got a couple of games here. There's 4 just demonstration games that we've broken down. Some are high school basketball games. Some are some of our partners overseas and professional leagues that we deal with in Croatia and Serbia and the different places where we have our partners around the globe. But you see, we have 4 games here, and we can easily filter and manage and organize our games based on the season, and the event based on the type of the event it is. So a game, a practice, etc. So we can search and filter and organize our games in our events within our videos folder. Now, for each and every one of these games, we can obviously watch the game, and we also can see the stats for each and every one of the games as well. Our athlete stats and our team box score and our team stats that are associated with each of these games. So for the sake of argument today, I'm just going to pick this Churchill at Quince Orchard game that took place this February. Montgomery County Public Schools is a partner of ours. All 25 schools within the school district are users of VidSwap and love showcasing their video because they have some great quality athletes, coaching within our system. They're a great partner of ours. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in and watch this game so we can take a look and see what the game film actually looks like. Okay, so you'll notice that we've got the game film that started here that was uploaded into our account. This was actually automatically captured on one of our Pixellot camera devices that's located at Quince Orchards High School, their basketball gym, and automatically transitioned into the VidSwap account after it was done recording. So you'll see we got a little bit of pregame warm-up happening. Now, obviously, there's basketballs at both ends. There's action at both ends of the court, so you might see the camera jump around a little bit here at the beginning. But we can very easily scroll and jump through and get to the point where the actual start of the basketball game occurs. And you'll see this is the finished product of being able to watch that game. So we got our game film up top that we could basically watch this game from start to finish as if we were watching YouTube, right? We got our player controls where we can pause, play, fast forward, rewind, etc. Jump forward 5 seconds, jump back 5 seconds. And we could just simply watch our game film within our VidSwap platform if we wanted to, okay? And that's what's up top here. Now below, we have all the different tags and filters of the events that we're doing with our breakdown packages that we have here at VidSwap. Now, again, we're in a basketball account, so these are going to be basketball specific, but again, just rest assured that we do the same thing for soccer, for football, for volleyball, for rugby, for baseball, for softball, you name it, and those different sport specific events that occurred. So for basketball, you'll see some of the team filters that we're tagging are each and every 2-point field goal that's attempted by the team or made by the team. We do second chance possessions, 3-point field goals attempted and made, assists, blocks, rebounds, fouls, free throws, you name it. All these different filters from a team standpoint, and then also from an athlete standpoint with our athlete filters. So if we want to search and filter by every 2-point field goal that a certain player on our team attempted during this game, we could very easily, with just a couple clicks of our mouse, find that player and pull up those 2-point field goals that he or she attempted during the course of the game. Okay, so a lot of great information that comes along with our breakdown filters that we're doing for you. Okay, we can also customize your viewing experience within our VidSwap platform. So again, we've got the video up top and we got the breakdown information with all the data below that we'll get into here in a minute. But maybe we want to customize our viewing player. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a little upside down triangle right here that we can click and drag and make our video bigger. If maybe we want some more video and maybe a little bit less of our breakdowns, or we can click and drag and make the video a little smaller and have some more space for our breakdowns below. And then finally, over here on the right, we've got this little arrow icon where we can click and actually do the full screen cinematic experience if we wanted to as well. So however you, your coaches, or your athletes prefer to view their game within our application, you're more than welcome to customize that viewing experience. Okay. So we're going to jump out of full screen here, and we're going to just jump in and actually take a look at some of the breakdowns that we do. When I'm watching my game film, I usually like about a 60-40 split. 60% of the screen give me some video, and then about 40%, just enough for me to search and filter and scroll down below with those breakdowns that we do. Okay. So again, we cut up the game, we tag the game, not only from a event standpoint, but we also do all the stats and all the attributes and all the analytics that come along with it as well. So for instance, if I wanted to search and filter by all the 3-point field goals attempted by a team during this game, and we have Churchill versus Quince Orchard, maybe I want to see all the 3-point field goals attempted by Churchill. So I search, filter by Churchill. Now I've got the 15 play clips that occurred during the course of this game in which Churchill actually attempted a 3-pointer. Okay. So I could sit here and watch, very easily search and find those events that occurred during the game for whatever aspect of the game I'm looking at. I'm just picking some very basic generic stuff today, just for the sake of argument, but we can get as detailed as we want into each and every different set play that we have, each and every time we ran man defense versus zone defense, all of our out of bounds plays, possessions, a lot of great information that you can search and filter and easily find what you're looking for. Okay. So we've got our 15 play clips here and all the information that comes along with it. Again, we're not just tagging that this event, this shot took place at this time. We're telling you exactly where it occurred during the timeline, the duration of the clip, obviously the team that shot the ball, what type of shot it was, whether it was a make or a miss, the shot description, was it a jumper? Was it a pull-up jumper? Was it a step back jumper? Was it a dunk? Was it a layup? Where the actual shot took place? Was it in the paint or outside of the paint? Who the athlete was that shot it? If it was a make and there was an assist on the play, who the assister was for the team, and also the defender. So who blocked the shot, who was the primary defender. All this information is passed along within our logging team when we do our breakdowns for your team. The final thing that we're doing on this shot is also the shot location. So if we click here and edit, we can see exactly on the floor where this shot took place and is logged by our team so that we can create those awesome shot charts and heat maps and shooting percentages that we have. So a lot of great detail and information, not just an event, designation that we're doing here. We're doing all the stats and all the analysis that go along with it with our breakdowns. Okay. So we searched and filtered, and you see the different applications that we can do to break down and look at the different aspects of their game. Let's just say we want to create a highlight and a review. Those two great tools that we talked about earlier that your coaches are probably going to want to spend a whole lot of time in. Okay. Again, we've searched and we filtered by 3-point field goals attempted by Churchill, and I've got my 15 plays here. And maybe I want to create a highlight of all 15 of these play clips within our system. Very easy way to do that is this box right here. If you click on this box, this is going to select all 15 of these play clips. You see how they're all selected with the checkbox here? And very simply from there, within our video player, I can either select to create a highlight with these play clips or to create a review. Okay. So, but maybe I don't want to do all 15. Maybe as you're searching and filtering through this, we pick manually the 4 or 5 different play clips that we actually want to be a part of this highlight that we're creating. Maybe these are all the makes, or maybe these are all the times we ran our motion offense, or maybe these are all the times we had a corner kick that was successful, or a goal, or maybe these are all of our touchdowns or our third down passing situations. Whatever you and your coaches are looking to segment out, you can create these playlists and these highlights. Okay. So I've selected my 5 play clips that I want. All I need to do right now is click to create a highlight. Now, our system's going to ask you, do you want to add these play clips to an ongoing highlight, a highlight that's already been created before? So an example of a mechanic for this is maybe after our first game of the season, we create a highlight of all of our 3-point field goals made or all of our goals made for a soccer match. Okay, so we got our highlight from game 1 of all of our goals. Maybe a second game occurs and we want to create another highlight of all the goals or all the 3-pointers that we made in that second game. But instead of it creating a separate playlist, we want to put that playlist in the same, those play clips in the same playlist as the first one. What this allows us to do is have a season-long running highlight of all of our 3-pointers that we made or all of our goals that we made. And it gives us the flexibility as end users to organize our highlights and our play clips in whatever way or fashion that we'd like to. Okay, a lot of flexibility and customization within the VidSwap platform. Okay, so I could add these to a highlight that we've already created in the past, or we can click right here and create a brand new highlight, and we'll create a new one. We'll just name this test. We'll click save. It's as simple as that. Now our system is going through the process of transitioning those 5 play clips that I manually selected and moving them into the highlight folder on your dashboard. Okay, so when we go back to our dashboard here and we click on our highlights, we'll see our test highlight that we created. It's right here at the top. Okay, and we can click and we can watch this highlight of this playlist now that we've created. So we've got our 5 play clips here below that are now in a much easier, viewable, manageable situation that we can share with our coaches, share with our athletes, or distribute out to users outside of VidSwap if we'd like to as well. Okay. Very, very quick and easy, simple way to create these play lists and these highlights. Now, once we have our play clips here in a highlight feature, there's a couple cool, very cool features that we have with our highlights. First of which, we can edit the description of these plays. The descriptions as they come over are going to be those columns. So who shot the ball, what team, what type of shot it was, whether it was a make or a miss, etc. Right? Those columns that we had for the attributes for the tagging. We can click here and edit. So maybe we want to say, you know, this was our motion offense. Okay. Or maybe this was a great ball movement. Okay. And maybe this was bad shot selection. Okay. So you can be as descriptive as you want when you're creating these highlights in these play clips so that the end user, the athletes, or whoever you're sharing with know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. So we edit our descriptions. We can also edit the order of the play clips. So when you create these highlights, they're going to come over, the play clips are going to come over in chronological order in which they occurred in the game. So the first one first, second, etc. through the playing of the game. Now, if we click here and edit, we can reorder the play clips just by simply clicking and dragging these in whatever order we like. Once we have the order of these play clips that we want to present to our individuals, we click save, and now we've got this new play clip order down here below that we can share. It's a great feature. A lot of our coaches like doing the good, sharing the good, the bad, and then maybe the very ugly at the end. Okay, so you can organize it however you'd like within our system. And the final thing that we can do with the highlights, and it's my favorite feature that we have here at VidSwap, is our Telestration icons. Okay, adding more details, X and O's on the screen, further drive home the point that we're trying to get across to our student athletes. Okay, so we're going to go to our play clip one here, which was great ball movement, and we're going to click play. Maybe at a certain point here, we want to pause the screen and add a Telestration or add a note to our players. Okay, we pause the screen and you'll see this little pencil icon shows up here, our Telestration tool. Okay, so if we click on this Telestration tool, you're going to see all the properties that populate here on the left-hand side of the screen. Okay, we've got freehand pencil where we can draw on the screen, freehand draw if we want to. We've got squares, we've got circles, we've got arrow tools, we've got spotlights, text tools, you name it. Anything you're looking to do within our system to add that detail, we have the tools available to you. So maybe we want to highlight a player with a circle. Okay, over here on the right, we can change all the properties of the circle. We can change the color, we can change the fill, we can change if it's a dashed outline or a solid outline. So maybe we want to do a red circle and a dashed outline. Okay, and maybe we want to, you know, highlight our player right here who's over in the corner. And I'm just going to make up some stuff, just some coaching terminology. A lot of what I say here might not have a rhyme or reason. I just want to show you the application of how we could use this and how beneficial it would be. So we highlight this player that's over here in the corner, and maybe we want to type a note to him. You know, maybe he was out of position on this play. Okay. So we type little notes to our players and let them know exactly what we want them to do during the course of the play. We save our Telestration. We go back to the start of our play clip. And if we hit play, once we get to the point where there's a Telestration, the screen's going to pause. It's going to scroll, pause the screen, force our players to read it, see it, understand, digest what's on the screen. Hey, coach is telling me I'm out of position here. And then force them to hit play before the rest of the play clip starts. So if we hit play, we can add as many of these Telestrations throughout the course of the play that we'd like. Okay, so we're not limited to just doing one Telestration. So we let it play for a couple more seconds. Maybe we want to pause the screen and add another Telestration. Pause the screen, click our Telestration tool, and maybe we want to do a square this time. Again, we did a red circle last time, so maybe we'll do a blue square and a solid outline, and then maybe we'll highlight this player over here. And then maybe we want to actually show the route or the movement that we want this player to do on this particular play at this instance. We choose our arrow tool. In our arrow tool, we can go any way we want. Each click of the mouse adds a bend to the arrow and the route where we want to tell the player he needs to go, he or she needs to go. So we can click here to add a bend, click here, click here, click here. You know, we can go all the way around the court if we wanted to. And then once we're done, we double click to end the route. Okay. So now we'd obviously never want this athlete running around like this and zigzag on the court, but you can see how beneficial these tools with our Telestrations will be when we're diagramming our plays and showing the proper motion or movement, proper motion offense or 2-3 zone defenses, or proper formations that we want in our free kick situations on a soccer field, proper football alignments and routes that we want to run for a football field. So A lot of great information and details that you can do with athletes who are mainly visual learners. And you can actually use the landmarks on our court to show them exactly what we want them to do during the course of a play. Okay. So highlights, again, great feature, going through, pulling out those play clips, creating that highlight playlist, renaming them, reordering them. And then the icing on the cake is obviously our Telestration features that we have as well. Okay. So that's a highlight. I know we're running kind of short on time here. I want to jump in really quick and show you our reviews feature as well, and kind of the contrast between the two. Okay, so we're going to click into our videos, and we'll go right back into the same Churchill versus Quince Orchard game that we had before. And again, we searched by 3-point field goals attempted last time to create a highlight. Maybe this time we want to search by our turnovers that we occurred by team, and we'll do Quince Orchard this time. And we had 25 turnovers from this last game. And maybe we want to create a review session with our players to really speak directly to our players and do a film assignment, film review session with our players. Okay. We go through the same process as if we were creating a highlight, where we can manually click here and have all 25 play clips selected, or we can go through and pick the 4 or 5 play clips that we want to be a part of this assignment. You can choose as a coach. I'm just picking 5 as random here. Instead of creating a highlight, we're going to create our review. So we're going to click our review session. Similarly to a highlight, we can add these play clips to an ongoing review session, or we can start one from scratch, creating a brand new one. It's up to you. So we're going to create a brand new review. We're going to name it test. We'll just call this turnovers. We can be as descriptive as we want when we create these. 1 to 3 weeks is the expiration, because then these are short-term assignments that we're going to have film review sessions with our players. They're not open-ended season long. They're meant to be assignments, and assignments have expirations. So we click next. Here's the difference between the highlight and the review, where before when we create a highlight, it was available. Everybody within our account has access to them. Here with a review, all the athletes and all the coaches that you've added to your account are all going to populate here. So you can pick and choose the different players and coaches or position groups. So they're the only ones that have access to this review session when you're going over the assignment. So we can select all the athletes. We can select all the coaches. We can select the athletes by position. So maybe all of our guards need to see this. It looks like Colby and Nick are our 2 guards on the team. So once we select the players and coaches that we want, and we can manually select additional ones if we'd like, we click create a review. It's as simple as that. Now our system is going through the process of transitioning, again, those 5 play clips from a full game film into your reviews folder. At the same time, each and every one of the players and coaches that we tagged in this review assignment are receiving an email notification letting them know that they have an assignment to take a look at with coach within the VidSwap platform. Okay. So when we go to our reviews folder here and we click in here, we'll see our test review that we created earlier. This is the test review that we just created. Sometimes it takes just a minute or two for it to encode, but we created one a little bit earlier so we can go in and take a look at it. So we click view for our review, and it looks very similar to what a highlight did, right? We've got our play clips up top, the video. We've got our list of our play clips here below. We can edit the description. We can edit and reorder the play clips. We've got our Telestration tool, so we can freehand draw, do all the telestrations within a review if we want. The biggest difference, which you probably notice here, is over here on the right-hand side of the screen, this chat box that we have. And what this allows us to do is have an interactive dialogue conversation back and forth with each and every one of the members that we tagged within this review session. So if we click the comment here, what did we see in play clip number 1? Question mark. Submit. Each time we submit a text or a chat, there's also another notification within our system so that everybody stays up to date within the system of the ongoing dialogue of the different discussions that we're having with our coaches and our athletes. So what this allows us to do is gone are the days where we have to all be in the same room at the same time with the pulling out the projector on the big board and everybody watching the game film at the same time. Those days are done, particularly with COVID restrictions, although hopefully we're seeing light at the end of the tunnel with COVID, but it's a little difficult to get everybody in the same room nowadays. We don't even have to be on the same Zoom conference like we are right now having a film review discussion. What this allows us to do, our platform allows us all to be on our own, watching and consuming VidSwap in whichever way we do, whether it's through our desktop and our laptop version, or maybe your players are using our iPhone or our iPad applications, where we can all be on our own having a virtual film review session, making sure that we're making notes and getting ready for our upcoming games and events. So hopefully now the difference between highlight and review make a little bit more sense, but both of them are very great tools that a lot of our coaches enjoy using within our system. I know I threw a whole lot of information at you all today, but I certainly appreciate each and every one of you participating on the call today. Hopefully you took away something. Hopefully it was beneficial. But I think we're at a good stopping point. Just know that there's many more features, more advanced features that we didn't get to today. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you joining and attending our platform today. Again, feel free to follow up with us at any point with any questions, and we hopefully see you pretty soon as a Pixellot or a VidSwap customer. Thanks, guys.